One more thing to mention in vanilla ZBrush rendering is you can assign different materials. So if I want to, I can say like reflect red. I can alt tap some of these subtools in here and I can do a color fill object. I want to make sure I have mRGB turned on so I can color fill object. These objects here, I'm just alt clicking through here and filling those objects. And of course you can polypaint on these if you want to. So if I want to paint in a different material or just grab a different color, we'll grab an orange color here. And instead of painting material and RGB, I'll just change that to RGB, turn off Z add. And now I can just, if I alt tap this one here, you're going to see when I start painting it's going to be black. It's because I have a texture loaded in here. Let's go ahead and turn that off. And now we'll just be painting with our color. So I can go through here and I can start painting this orange. Of course, that reflected red is really overpowering. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this, let's say basic material 2. Let's turn mRGB back on. We'll go ahead and keep this red. We'll go ahead and do a color fill object. Now because we had that RGB intensity up to 100, it did do a 100% fill. If I turn this down to like 27%, then I change this to a yellow, and then turn that just to RGB, we can color fill an object. You see it kind of turns it orangish because it's only doing a 27% RGB fill. But if we undo that, you're going to see it's also going to change the material tint and color. And if we go over here to a different material, say droplet, you're going to see it's going to inherit all these because they don't have colorize turned on. As we're applying RGB information to these vertex colors, it is turning colorize on. Again, I'm just going really quickly through this. YouTube, Gumroad, ZBrush, all of this is going to have more information on Intro to ZBrush Part 3 and on my YouTube channel. But I just wanted to mention you can go ahead and assign different materials and polypaint on your object. If we go back here, if we want to select this material, we can just click drag off and select that material. And then we can just have RGB turned on. We'll go ahead and crank that up a little bit. We'll go to an orange. And now we can kind of paint orangish on our object if we want to. Or we can go from maybe a red to an orange to a yellow if we want. And then we'll go back to basic material for everything else and a white. So you can see we have multiple materials, and each of these materials, again, if I want to select a material, I can click and drag off, and then this material has material properties. So we can go ahead and close these out, go to our material menu, and you can go through here and you can change any number of options for these. Again, my YouTube channel, if you look at the stylized rendering, there's more information on that. But again, when you BPR render, everything will render together really nicely within ZBrush with all that poly paint and material information.